How to buy a house in the USA as a foreigner. In this video, I'm going to be tell step by step. Whether you are buying a US property to live in or as an investment, the process will be similar. Here are the basic steps you are likely to need to take. I will cover all the rules for foreigners buying property in the USA and the process for purchasing a US home or investment property. Question is, can foreigners buy investment property in the USA? The good news is that there are no legal barriers to foreigners buying property in the US. You can buy a property as a foreigner living in the US full-time, as a green card holder, as a non-resident investor, or as a vacation home. So what are the rules for foreigners buying property in the USA? Foreigners can buy a property in the US without any legal restrictions. The main issue many foreigners will run into will be the financing. If you are non-resident and want an investment property in the US, you might find it easiest if you can fund the payments with cash. Getting a local mortgage may be tricky if you have no local credit history. It's not impossible to get a local mortgage as a foreigner or non-resident, but you may face higher interest and need to provide a hefty down payments to unlock a mortgage. If you are a permanent or long-term resident in the US, or you are a refugee or have been granted asylum status, you may qualify for a housing loan through the Federal Housing Administration (FHA). Compared to private mortgage providers, the FHA can often offer favorable terms and better rates for qualifying. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 steps on how to buy a house in the USA as a foreigner. Number 1, arrange financing. The first step in any home purchase will be to figure out how much you can afford and set a budget. This may mean applying for a home loan in the US or in your home country, refinancing a property you already own elsewhere to release cash, or using savings. If you are applying for a mortgage in the US and you aren't a resident, be aware that the process can take some time and the option and terms available to you may not be as favorable as those and offers to resident. Don't forget to budget for closing costs and any taxes you may need to cover, as well as the ongoing cost of running your property as a home or investment. Step 2, find a real estate agent and start your house hunt. The next step will naturally be to start searching for your perfect property. You can do a degree of research online through property websites, but you will get the best service and support by using a trusted real estate agent to guide your search. The cost involved in paying your realtor are often covered by the seller of the property, and a good agent can help walk you through making and closing an offer, as well as narrowing down your search to the most suitable properties. Real estate agents typically work in local areas, so you will need to find someone who covers the locations you are thinking of buying in. Getting recommendations from family and friends in these regions can help connect you with a great agent. Step 3, agree an offer. Once you have found the place for you, you will need to write up an offer with your agent and have the sellers agree to the sales price and terms. It's common to make an earnest money deposit at this stage, which is a small percentage of the sale fee to show your intention. If you go through with the sale, the deposit is credited against your closing cost or down payment, but you may lose this money if you agree to the sale and later back out. Your agent will help you navigate this step, but it's worth considering adding an appraisal or inspections contingency into your offer. These clauses will give you a greater freedom in case that your home inspections or appraisal shows issues, and could mean your deposit is returned if you are forced to abandon the sale due to serious issues showing in these pre-closing checks. Step 4, complete due diligence checks. Once you have secured the property in principle, you will need to carry out sensible due diligence checks. Some of these may be required by your mortgage lender, but even if you are a cash buyer, it makes sense to thoroughly check the home before you leap in. Checks includes a home inspections and home appraisal. Talks through with your realtor which checks are suitable for the types of property you are buying. Step 5. Close and pay your cost. If you are nearly there, you are taking a mortgage, your lender will notify you of the cost and payment scheduled several days before closing. You will then need to pay all relevant fees, any taxes and your down payments during closing meetings. Once this is all done, congrats, you are a homeowner. Taxes and fees when purchasing property in the US as a non-resident. Before you start the journey to buying a property in the US, you will need to understand the taxes and fees involved in both the purchase and on an ongoing basis. Some of the one-off costs involved with buying a property are covered by the buyer, while others are the responsibility of the seller. In most cases, the buyer will pay the following: title search and insurance 0.5% to 1%, recordings fees 0.2% to 0.5%, legal fees 0.5% to 1%. Local taxes and fees may also apply on an ongoing basis. It's worth remembering that if you are renting the property for an income, you must report and pay US taxes. Capital gains tax will usually apply when you sell your property on